Yes, you did read that correctly. Elvis from Wheelie Dealers made me sick. Hi everyone, welcome to part 2 of my Wheelie Dealers Christmas special. Now, if you haven't seen part 1 of the story yet, you might want to check that out first on the link above. If you have watched part 1, then I hope you're enjoying the ride so far and you're probably wondering what's going to happen next. To be honest, I was also wondering what was going to happen next, as I really had very little idea of what I was supposed to do when I actually got to Italy. I knew that I'd be buying a car at the race circuit at Varano, and I also knew that I'd be eating industrial quantities of tiramisu. But apart from that, I knew nothing. Now, it was all quite exciting because I'm the sort of person who loves an adventure, and I'm happy to fly by the seat of my pants, unless I'm in an actual aeroplane, of course, in which case I usually prefer the pilot to do it. So, speaking of aeroplanes, let's pick up the story on a sunny late April morning, and I'm waiting for a bus to the airport to catch my flight to Milan, where a cute little Alfa Romeo was patiently waiting for me. Waiting for the bus. Guess where I'm going? Ooh, you're gonna have to wait and see. Then, once I arrived at the airport, I checked into my luxury hotel room for a very early night. The alarm went off at 4:30 AM, and I struggled to the terminal looking like a sleep-deprived zombie. Gary and I had learned the hard way that when you're attempting something important like removing a cylinder head, starting an engine for the first time, or even attempting to reach 30,000 feet in an overcrowded Pringles tube with wings, it is vital that you eat a bacon sandwich first, as any other type of sandwich is simply inviting disaster. Ah, that's good. I can literally feel myself bursting with good luck now. Or maybe I should have gone to the toilet before takeoff. Wow, look at the state of me. You could carry your shopping home in those bags. So, before you can say, Giuseppe Pusso ero un genio, we are on the ground at Milan Malpensa Airport, and I'm struggling through the crowds in search of my connecting train. Two hours later, I'm walking through the ham-lined streets of Parma in search of my apartment. Ham, 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 ham. Everywhere you look. Ham, 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 ham. Ham, 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 ham. Sorry everybody. Sorry. Parma is fairly typical of northern Italian cities. Everyone is stylish and cool. The shops are stylish and cool. The historic buildings are stylish and cool, and the only thing spoiling the stylish and cool ambience is the slightly dishevelled English tourist wheeling a noisy suitcase through the cobbled back streets.
This man's come to tell me off.
At first I was genuinely worried that this bloke in a high-vis vest was coming to arrest me for a noise-related offence, but thankfully he just turned out to be Il Postino. I'm here in Parma now, and I'm staying in a nice little apartment on the Strada della Repubblica, which is pretty central, which is great. So all I've been doing so far is kind of hanging around in cafes, drinking nice coffee and eating tiramisu, that kind of thing. Stuff that I really like to do anyway. Apartment's nice. Some of the decor is a little interesting. Tomorrow is the day when we go to the track in Varano, and looking forward to that. I think the only question mark at the moment is over the weather, because it's going to rain, and it's going to rain quite heavily. It's going to rain this afternoon. In fact, I've just been sitting in a cafe. Beat a hasty retreat because it started to rain. It's going to carry on raining until tomorrow, sort of 1 o'clock, which is probably when the Wheeler Dealers guys will be wanting to do the filming, and they're going to take the cars around the track, including the car, the GTV that I'm buying. So I'm meeting up with my friend Gary, who has actually driven all the way over in his GTV Cup. So I'll be meeting up with him tonight, probably have something to eat, maybe a couple of drinks. Not too many though, obviously. That would be a bad idea. So I'll see you tomorrow. Cheers. So later on that evening, I sampled a few more of the delights that Parma had to offer and went back to my apartment full up, but feeling a tiny bit sick after trying a local delicacy which consisted of all the bits of a pig that even your dog might not fancy, cooked in jelly and sliced up on a plate. Ugh.
The next morning.
Lots of cyclists, not so many Alfas. Cheese, anybody? Not quite a lot. Now, Parma is a lovely city and I was enjoying some sightseeing. That is until I walked round the corner and bumped into Mr. Cheerful here. Okay, so I added the rain effect afterwards, but I did take his business card just in case I ever needed to arrange a funeral. All I can really say, folks, is when in Parma. Early the following morning, I remembered what it was like to live near a church.
Shut up.
There's a big old church right opposite my apartment. It's an early morning call. So, after a quick breakfast, I jumped in the car with assistant producer James, who was kindly giving me a ride to the racetrack at nearby Varano, passing through some of the ruggedly beautiful scenery of Parma province. We drove right past the racing company Dallara's headquarters, which is located very close to the circuit, and all their project cars are developed on this track. Check out the amazing Dallara Stradale car. So we arrived at a rather wet Autodromo Riccardo Paletti to find a large group of local Alfa Club members drinking coffee, eating nice pastries and chatting in that very animated Italian way, which frankly often sounds like an argument.
Oh, this would have been lovely if it wasn't this bloody awful weather.
I wonder if they do canoe hire as well.
Yeah, bloody hope so. You're here to buy a canoe, aren't you?
Wet, very wet.
Moist.
Moist. It's moist. Ooh. Oh look, there's Gary Googling the maximum number of espressos a man can drink before passing out. Ooh, 17. Interesting toilets. Yeah. The lovely local club members had brought along numerous GTVs, as well as a 147 GTA, a 156, a 164, and some original and replica GTV Cup race cars as well. This looks familiar.
Yes.
Watching all the Alfa nuts socialising, I found it very reassuring that the accents may change, the language may change, even the country may change, but petrol heads still love standing around and looking at each other's engines. But wait, amongst all the other supermodels, I spotted the GTV being wired up for sound and video. Ooh, this was the first time I'd seen the car in its finished state, and it was looking good. The Vela Blue paint looked classy, the wheels were spotless, and the engine bay was transformed. Well done, Elvis and the team, you did a great job.
Hey, look at this. Buongiorno. I see you've come prepared for the weather.
Yeah. No, I'm bought a jacket.
Oh dear.
Yeah.
You want to buy a car?
Yeah.
I hear the blue ones for sale.
So, we watched the GTV get prepared to take me out on the track, and we enjoyed some of the banter and the teasing that the guys from the crew love to level against each other.
You got to join me.
You want to see more of my show?
If you'd like to see more of me, just come back there.
Then, something terrible happened.
You told me to make that joke earlier.
That was him. That was him.
Bell end. Yeah. He looks like a bell end, doesn't he? Yeah, he does. So then we had a bit of banter at the expense of photography director Nick, who was occupying the golden retriever spot in the back of the camera car.
That makes me feel so much safer. That's it.
That's your last supper.
If someone can find it's me.
Then, before I knew it, we were off.
This is what's so good about
Now,
this
in
car,
order to get some good shots of the GTV, we were led first of all by the camera car. Then as the pace picked up, the camera car was replaced by a fast racing drone.
This is what's so good about this car, you know, when you put your foot down, you get that sound.
Which was screaming around overhead as Elvis chucked the GTV around the track.
Now, really, really nice.
Now, just in case you're in any doubt, the Alfa got its neck absolutely wrung in every gear. I was hanging on for dear life as we clipped the rumble strips and we melted the outside tyres on every bend. It did handle brilliantly, however, but because the crew were filming us inside the car, I couldn't exactly sit there with my phone in front of my face shooting my own video, could I? In the end, I only got this short clip, which I think sums up how I felt after half an hour of being tossed around in Elvis's washing machine.
We're going to have to go around one more to get back to the pit lane. Just going round to get back to the pit lane, mate.
Yeah, no worries.
I had to open the window for some fresh air, and Elvis absolutely cracked up when I admitted that he'd made me feel sick.
Pocket.
So at the end of the track session, where you see me getting out of the car to shake Mike's hand, what you don't realise is that Elvis is trying not to laugh, and I'm trying not to be sick.
If you don't buy it because
Then suddenly I bought myself an Alfa, and it was all over. We were packing up, saying our goodbyes to the lovely Italian Alfisti folks who had all brought their cars along and helped to make the day such a success. It was heartwarming to see the obvious affection that the Italian fans had for Mike, Elvis and the crew, and I'm pretty sure the feeling was mutual. Two of the biggest petrolhead nations celebrating something pretty cool together. What an amazing experience for everyone. I feel very lucky to have been involved, and none of us will forget today in a hurry. But wait, potential disaster. There was a problem with the GTV which had started when we were coming into the pits, and it was getting worse. The car was misfiring and running rough. Track driving is very tough on engines, so this could potentially be bad. I had visions of melted pistons, blown cylinder head gaskets, all very expensive failures.
Oh dear.
Transporter man Harry was getting his hands dirty, dismantling the engine, trying to find out what had happened to the GTV. Meanwhile, it's getting late. The sun has started to go down, and our options for fixing it are running out. Wait, what? It was just a bad spark plug? So that was a huge relief, and an emergency run to the motor factors was made. The plug was replaced, and we were all happy again. The GTV got tucked safely away in the trailer, ready for its long journey back home. And we all went out to celebrate. I flew home and I started to make plans for what I was going to do with the GTV, and Gary and I arranged to visit the Wheeler Dealers headquarters once again to collect the car in a couple of weeks' time, bring it home and then give it a proper road test to see if it's as good as they say it is. So how cool was that? Now the final episode in my Wheeler Dealers GTV trilogy will be next Sunday, which is Christmas Eve. So please leave me a comment below, and thank you so much for watching. Ciao.